Welcome back to the Maelstrom, ladies and gentlemen. We have another Warhammer 40k battle report for you. 1,000 points, Space Wolves versus Astra Militarum. We are going back to Stulte Mors and again on Stulte Secundus. So this is the Agri-Planet. This is one of the battered agricultural district cities. And there's a spaceship battle going on in orbit. So debris is raining down and these armies are stranded at the moment, so they're needing to recover vital supplies from the crashing aircraft. So we have 4 objectives on the table. One here, one there, the third here, and the 4th behind the Aegis line there. They're numbered 2 to 5. At the beginning of each player turn, we will roll a d6. On a 2 to a 5, it will scatter off of one of those 3d6 inches. And on a 1, the Space Wolves get to choose which one it comes in off of. On a 6, the Astra Militarum gets to choose which one it comes in off of. We're playing Vanguard Strike, and we're not using this 2 feet of the table, so the table's going to stop there at the road. The Astra Militarum will be in this corner, and the Space Wolves will be in that corner. We will be right back with army lists. First up, we have the Tzeentch Renegades, Astra Militarum.
Okay, so my HQ is a company command squad in a Chimera. They contain my Warlord, who rolled a 6 on the Warlord traits table, so he has Master of Command. He will get 1 additional order per turn. Then for my 2 troop choices, my first one is a platoon with 3 squads of infantry with grenade launchers. My second one is a platoon with 3 squads of infantry. 2 of them have an autocannon heavy weapon team, and 1 of them has a plasma gun. Then for my heavy supports, I have a Leman Russ battle tank with no upgrades, a Demolisher with no upgrades, and a squadron of 2 Wyverns with no upgrades.
Alright, so there are the Renegade Traders. Next up, we have the forces of the Space Wolves. They are being led by Wolfguard Battle Leader. He has a Frost Sword and a Melt-A-Bomb. He rolled Saga Majesty for his Warlord trait. For our troops, we have 3 squads of 5 Grey Hunters. The first one running with him has a Flamethrower, and they are mounted in a Razorback with twin heavy bolters. Then we have 2 squads that have a Plasma Gun, and they are mounted in Razorbacks with twin las cannons. We have 2 squads set up like that. We also have a Dreadnought with a Multi-Melta, Heavy Flamer, and a Great Wolf Claw. He is in a Drop Pod with a Deathwind Launcher. We have 5 Long Fangs with 4 las cannons. And then to finish the list off, we've got a squad of 5 Wolfen. The only upgrade they have, one of them has a Grenade Launcher, and the Pack Leader has twin Frost Claws. So you have seen the armies, and you have seen the table. We will be back as we get stuck into the Maelstrom. Alrighty, deployment is complete. The Space Wolves won the roll to deploy first, and we'll be going first, barring a seize. We have the Long Fangs in the tower, with the 3 Razorback squads across the street, and the Wolfen on the flank. The drop potting squad is obviously in reserve, so got the Long Fangs up here for their commanding field presence. And as they took the hill, they saw these guardsmen deploying. Josh is going to walk us down his deployment.
Okay, on my extreme left flank is one of my grenade launcher squads. Directly behind them is the battle tank, trying to draw a little cover from all those las cannons on the other side. On top of the building is one of my autocannon squads, and behind them is the pair of Wyverns, and they are tucked up to cover from those las cannon Long Fangs. Across the very front of the army, strung out in single file, shoulder to shoulder, is a grenade launcher squad, backed up directly behind them by one of my junior officers, standing beside the Demolisher. Directly behind the Demolisher is my plasma gun squad, trying to fill space and prevent the drop-potting Dreadnought from coming in behind my armor and making mincemeat of it. Directly behind them, holding my baseline, is my commanding officer. To their right is an autocannon squad on the ramparts of the building so that we can provide as much support as possible with the las guns. To their right, standing in the very back along the board edge, is the 5-man junior officer squad, and in front of them is the final grenade launcher squad.
Alright, so Space Wolves are going first, barring a Trader Guardsman seize here. And with a 4, they will not do it. I think we both saw the 6 dialing around there. So Space Wolves are calling in the drop pod reinforcement, and we will begin to crash the debris. We will be back following Space Wolves turn 1. Space Wolves turn 1 rolls to an end. Drop pod scatters 9 inches off. We tried to land here beside the building, but he scattered here. Moved him over here, fired his heavy flamer, killed 2 of the junior guys, 3 of the guys from this lead squad. They broke and ran here. They are waiting for a regroup test. Fired the Multi-Melta around the corner into the Demolisher and missed. The Wolfen moved up 12 inches total. They moved 6 and then ran 6. 2 las cannons here. Long Fangs all fired at the Wyverns. We did not even make him make a cover save. Both twin length las cannons missed, and the four long fangs scored 2 hits and rolled 2 2s. So not a good start on the anti-armor, but we did clean up a handful of guardsmen. So that is the end of turn 1. Or the end of top of turn 1, and the guard response is coming up. Guard, turn 1.
Wow, so the dice were not pretty bad. The dice were the worst I've seen them in a long time for this turn. Everything that I threw hit, everything that he tried to counter with failed. It was probably one of the most one-sided turns I've seen in a long time. So the Demolisher and the 2 autocannon squads knocked out the Dreadnought through 4+ cover, just 1, 2, 3 like he was nothing. The battle cannon round killed 2 of the Wolfen through 4+ cover. The multi-laser through 4+ cover knocked a hull point out of one of the Razorbacks. And then the Wyverns killed all 5 of the Long Fangs.
Yep, so not much you can do in that situation, but we will see if anything will come back for me here. I still got a few troops and such, so we will give it a turn 2, and we will be back following the Space Wolves response. Also, objectives. The first one scattered here from the Space Wolves turn, and then the Chaos guys got to set up the second one. They scattered it here, so almost off the table, but it's still here. So Space Wolves turn 2 coming up. Space Wolves turn 2 was a little more productive than the first one, thankfully. We moved up the Wolfguard battle leader and his guys. They killed 6 of the men here, and the others fell off the table. The Deathwind launcher fired here and killed 2 of the men here, and then the heavy bolter cross-fired down through the runs here, scored 3 wounds and killed the lieutenant. This squad moved up and climbed out. They fired up here and killed 2 men. Both las cannons fired again, got 1 hit on the Wyvern, finally needed a 5+ cover and stopped it. The Wolfen charged, lost one of them on Overwatch, lost a Wolfen to 10 guardsmen on Overwatch. But of course had predictable results there. Wolfen slaughtered them and consolidated out. So that is Space Wolves 2. We will be back after the Astra Militarum response. Guard, turn 2.
So, starting on the left over here, the battle tank fired at the Wolfen, scattered back onto himself, 2 guardsmen, and still managed to clip a Wolfen, and then all the dice went crazy again. The Wolfen ended up losing their pack leader. 2 of my guardsmen went down in the blast. Then the Wyverns fired on the Razorback squad here, killed 2 of them, but they passed their morale check. The Senior Command squad fired on the Razorback up front and did nothing, but the Demolisher fired and shook the rear Razorback through his cover saves. Then these 3 squads combined their fire on the Razorback squad here and managed to kill 3 members of it.
And as far as break checks, the Wolfen did break and fall back 5 inches. These guys broke, but then I remembered I had rolled Saga of Majesty, so luckily they stayed in it on the reroll. Oh, also, we didn't need a morale check here. We didn't roll that because these guys took casualties. Stand by. Your call is important to us. 6. They're good to go. Alright, so coming back with Space Wolves turn 3. Oh, also, the objective that turn also came in down here and also scattered here. So apparently we're going to end up in this corner by the time it's over. But that is turn 2, and we will be back after the Space Wolves response. Space Wolves finally got their act together in turn 3. We moved up here, attempted a charge, took a plasma wound, an armor save, made all that Overwatch junk, and then failed the charge. That charge was a 3. Razorback fired here, trying to force a morale check on these juniors, because his guys have proven somewhat cowardly so far, but we were only able to kill 1 guy through cover. The snap-firing Razorback zoomed up fast, fired here, scored a hit, scored a glance, but it bounced off cover again, so I decided I'm tired of giving him cover saves. I'm going to shoot his Demolisher. It doesn't matter how stupid the odds are. Hit, pin, boom, blew it up. Killed 2 of the men up here, but they did pass their morale check. The Marines here, the Wolfen rolled on Hunt and gave them the ability to reroll charges. They missed their charge the first time, but made it on the reroll. Their crack grenades did nothing, and then the Wolfen pinned the tank 3 times, rolled 3 6s to damage it, so knocked it out as well. I'm sure those guys are now Wyvern bait, but at least they knocked out the Russes. That gives us somewhat of a chance. That is turn 3. Oh, also the objective for this turn fell here between the Razorbacks. So that is turn 3 for the Wolves. We will be back with the guard response. Hopefully it is not as mean as what I just did to them, because I can't take another turn of that. My guys are almost gone. We will be back, though, following the guard response. Starting off the guard turn, the objective came in here, the Space Wolves got to place it, and it scattered like 5 inches back there.
Okay, so not a lot of damage, but we did get some clutch damage results out of the right flank here. The infantry all took orders to get more shots to take down the Wolfguard Battle Leader squad. We managed to put a wound in him and knock both of his squad mates down. And then the autocannon squads single-handedly killed the Razorback from full health to nothing using the Tank Hunter order. The senior command fired on the Razorback to no effect, and the shots just bounced off. The Wyverns, first time that they didn't just score tremendous damage against a target, still managed to wound the remaining Wolfen and knock one of the 3 remaining Razorback Marines down.
But everybody made their morale checks, so we will be back as turn 4 commences. Space Wolves turn, that's 4, right? Turn 4. We got another objective here, which scattered to this point. Moved everything around a little bit. Finally got this guy and his Marines up in the fight. Got a clear shot, and he finally pulled it off. Busted one of the Wyverns and blew it up. This guy rolled a 1 on the hunt table again. So he jumped up on this building, and the Marines moved up here with a reroll that made their dangerous for coming through the tank. They charged here. Their Hammer of Wrath attacks for that special rule knocked 1 point out, but they could not connect with the grenades. He took a wound on Overwatch, but luckily made his save, charged in and slaughtered the last of the guardsmen on the roof. These guys moved out, fired bolter fire here, and punched 2 guys out, not enough for a morale check. And the Wolfguard Battle Leader, he swung to the side of the building here to allow just a couple of Overwatch shots. Charged in, challenged, killed the sergeant and 2 other guys, and they broke and were cut down by him when they tried to run. So Space Wolves are trying to bring this one back. It's starting to look a little more even now. My last turn a couple of turns have been almost as crazy as his first turn was. So we are starting to wash back. There's not going to be very many models alive when this game's over, one way or another. We're going into guard turn 4, and we will be back following that. Turn 4 rolls to an end. The Astra Militarum objective scatters from here 10 inches to land on top of the building.
We fired everything we had left. The Junior Officer Squad fired at the Wolfguard Battle Leader, no effect. The squad with the autocannon fired on the 5-man Razorback squad and managed to knock 1 guy down. The Wyvern fired on them, no effect. The Chimera fired on the 2-man squad, but we were snap shooting, so we didn't get any hits there. And the command squad, after first rank, second ranking themselves, did manage to knock down the last Wolfen.
Yep. So did bring the Wolfen down at least. We will be going into turn 5, and we will be back following that. Space Wolves turn 5, the objective landed here and scattered up here into the street, the little cyan marker. This thing swung sideways to control 2 objectives, fired his shot down through here, and immobilized the Chimera. The other las cannon fired through the gap here, did no damage, hit it but could not get through the armor. These guys charged in with their crack grenades. Couldn't get anything done in the shooting, but knocked 1 more whole point out with a glance with crack grenades and melee. The Wolfguard Battle Leader joined up with these survivors. Charged the lieutenant. I was just too nervous with 1 wound to try it, so we charged in there. Wolfguard killed them all, and we consolidated out. We're going into the bottom of 5. We will be back following the guard response. Guard turn 5. Objective fell on objective 5, but scattered to here. Okay,
so the command squad pushed forward, last-ditch attempt to try to knock those 2 Marines out before the Wyvern died without sacrificing the Wyvern's firepower. We did kill 1, but he managed to pass his morale check and kill that Wyvern in the subsequent close combat phase. But the Wyvern accounted for 2 of the 4 Marines that died in the Wolfguard Battle Leader squad. The autocannon squad then knocked the other 2 down between their las guns and the autocannon.
Alright, so we will see if we go to 6, that is 5 turns. And on a 5 we will go again, so we will be back after Space Wolves turn 6. Space Wolves turn 6, the objective, the Imperial Guard got to placed it here, and it scattered back here to the Razorback once again. Both Razorbacks fired at the Chimera to no effect. We scored 2 pins, but he made both of his cover saves. We charged here first with the Marine, let him eat the Overwatch, and then with the Wolfguard Battle Leader. We challenged his company commander, put 2 wounds in him, but no other damage was done in combat. He rolled insane heroism for combat, which suits me just fine, because that means these weapons cannot shoot my Marines. So that is the end of Space Wolves 6. The Guard will respond, and we will see if we go to 7. Guard turn 6 rolls to an end. The objective finally came in somewhere to help him out, came back here 14 inches and landed here at the Prometheum drums.
Our last 2 free units split their fire, 1 to each of the Razorbacks, but to no effect. And then moving into close combat, we were cut down by the Wolfguard battle leader and his one remaining wolf brother. That's it. That was a very uneventful turn.
Alrighty, so that is a 6. We'll see if we go to 7 or not. And on a 4 we will. So we will be back following Space Wolves turn 7. Space Wolves turn 7 rolls to an end. Chaos got to choose the placement again. They put the marker here and it scattered into my drop pod once again. Down here we charged into this tank. Melta bombs from the Wolfguard battle leader destroyed the Chimera with a 1. So just stunned it but did destroy it. We put both of the las cannons into this bunker, damaged it twice but could not bring it down. So Guard will have the last action and we will be back with the final results. Guard turned 7 and the game rolls to an end. Objective came in here but scattered 14 inches and went off the table.
So this last shooting phase was just spike killing. This squad turned all their guns down on the Wolfguard battle leader and his one remaining Marine and killed them to end the game.
So the game ends with the Guard in possession of 0 objectives to the Space Wolf 6. There are a grand total of 7 Guardsmen and 3 Space Marine transports left. Ridiculously bloody game. Could not make an armor save, but all of my damage was converting to him, so I was killing his stuff fast enough to make up for the cruddy armor saves. So it turned into an absolute bloodbath towards the end. But that is 6-0 in favor of the Space Wolves. We will have army lists and after-action reviews at the blog as always. Give us a like on Facebook and a subscription on YouTube if you want to see more. And as always, thanks for spending time with us today at the Maelstrom.